choice is yours. We will have 2 contests in the morning, 2 in the afternoon. A prayer conference break in the noon time. It's important to pay respect to the speakers and contestants on this stage. Me and my Satyendratan team, Johara Aslam, Nirubama Roy, and Shani will be available for any help and support throughout the day. Please cooperate with us so that we have a peaceful, entertaining and thought-provoking and enjoyable contest today. Now it is time to welcome the area director, a fashionable Toastmaster, past president of Qatar Malayalam Toastmasters Club, best Toastmaster of the year 2014 and 15, current area director. He is the member who has made Qatar Malayalam Toastmasters Club as a family club, hailing from Thrissur, Kerala, India, and doing
winners from each category will represent Area 23 at the Division H contest on 16th March 2018. Recently, I came across the inspiring quote by Celine Dion: "I am not in the competition with anybody but myself. My goal is to beat my last performance." With this quote, I wish all the contestants all the very best.
Happily, our leaders followed the famous parable during the area realignment last year. Yes, they poured old wine from area 53 into new wineskins called area 23. Our area is already in the magic quadrant of Toastmasters International by uplifting quality speakers into international platform in previous years. Dear Toastmasters, today we are going to witness the most awaited Area 23 Annual Speech Contest 2017-18. Speech contests are Toastmasters tradition. Competition begins with contests in all clubs within our area. Today, there are 23 contestants from these clubs competing in 4 different categories. Winners from area continue to compete in Division H and so on. Confident enough to perform well. Nobody can stop you. I'm sure you are capable enough to reach the height you aim for. It's our desire to reach at World Championship of Public Speaking stage.
And there are talent, say judges who supporting. They remain anonymous. When it comes to DTM Mansoor, we have to any contest. Recently, I had an experience of one of the club contests. DTM Mansoor was a chief judge. So he was going through every small and big area of his assigned job.
Welcome to Area 23 Contest 2018-19. I am Prabhakar, your Master of Ceremony for this morning session, and I have the pleasure of inviting you all to this area contest of Area 23 Division H District 20. I am sure this segment is going to be an exciting one and we all enjoy. The first one we are going to have is the fascinating contest evaluation, speech evaluation.
I would like to share my experience of my final year project internship. We were a group of 5 lucky students doing the project in a US-based MNC at Chennai. This was the first time I was traveling away from Kerala, and I really enjoyed the 14 hours train journey. We stayed in a small villa near the IT park and used a local train and bus to reach office. My favorite breakfast, nool puttu, was replaced with Maggi noodles. We completed the project on time and received certificates. Now I am coming to the point. During this 4 months' time, I used to compare myself with the other 4 members. I was the one who used to have the least interaction with the project manager and other employees. I was the only one from Malayalam medium school and was like a fish out of water. My skills with spoken English made me feel embarrassed in few occasions, especially when I had to say a word of thanks during a meeting. You know what I did? I reduced my voice so low that nobody could hear what I was saying. We got an idea to request our project manager for a chance to work as a project trainee, and he agreed to refer us for the interview. The interview request was approved, and the same had been scheduled for the next day, and everyone started preparations. I was confused and stressed out that day. The word interview had frightened me. As usual, I again started comparing myself with the other 4 members. I was the only one having arrears in the team. What if I don't understand the question or not able to respond as expected in the interview? What if they ask about my arrears? These what ifs. What ifs had made me extremely nervous, and finally I decided to skip the interview and leave for Kerala in the same evening.
Strong and raised and came back with ripples of motivation in every audience sitting over here. Toastmaster Anshid, you brought a topic that instilled a serious thought in everyone sitting over here before even you got onto the stage. By your topic, the choice is yours. At that moment, we were ready to witness something motivational. And Toastmaster Anshid, you came, you expressed your ideas on a topic that everyone could relate to. Now, we contestants have thought of this, what if I fail, what if I cannot do, what if it went wrong? And after all those stress, we choose to present here. So you were speaking on something that each and everyone could relate to presently. Still the thought is going on in my mind. So you gave me some bit of motivation. Thank you for that. And I could really see the confidence that you have gained through your experience. The way you presented your body. You were straight, your chest were broad, your chins were high. You were confident, you were walking with confidence. And you pleasantly expressed the confidence that you have gained without, you weren't stressing about, no, you were talking about stress, but you were calm, you were posed, and you were expressing your ideas that really suits the topic which you were talking about. And as you have said, yes, of course, people can make mistakes, they have the freedom to make mistakes, but unless we learn from those mistakes. So in order to rise and kick back higher than a dolphin, I would like to give you some suggestions. You were talking about motivation, calling for action. So come in front and ask the audience, raise your voice, raise your hands, show that achievement that you have achieved. You're calling for action, so you must be confident and punch your words. And secondly, you were talking about stress at first. So now you have fought all the stress, you are calm, but at that time you were under the stress. So express those stress in your face. When you say, I was frightened, you were like, that was an achievement. No, I was frightened. So express those stress. Then only we could have that visual image, we could actually have the feelings in us. And to summarize, you had great posture, The speech was very well organized. You had great eye contact. Focus more on your emotions and the calling for actions. You're punching to your voice. I'm sure one day the judges will choose you as the champion speaker.
He was from a Malayalam medium and he couldn't even deliver a proper word of thanks. From that, today he showcased such an excellent, remarkable speech today. Contest chair, fellow Toastmasters, and most importantly, my target speaker, the center of attraction of today's contest. A very good morning to one and all.
Good morning.
Toastmaster Mohammed Ansir, where are you? You are a very confident speaker, very confident, very forceful speaker, and your speech was very effective. Your opening was very effective because you started with a quote and it attracted the audience. You started with a quote from Mr. Robert, and it was very effective, and you had a great language. You had made use of rhetorical devices like simile, pair of wings to fly, road I've taken, and made use of vivid usages of words like Herculean task, and very good usage of words, very good language usage. And you had a well-organized body, a well-crafted speech it was, and the conclusion was also very effective. Again, quoting Mahatma Gandhi's quote, you concluded, persuading the audience to take up a right choice. Right choice to take up all the opportunities given to us. And regarding the movements, you had wonderfully displayed wonderful movements, and your body gestures was excellent, like for stepping forward and for stepping back. You showed it very well, and also you dramatized certain things. You came here and you dramatized very well. It was very expressive, good body gestures. And then, and regarding recommendations, like today our MC said, from good to better and better to best. So your speech was good. To turn it to better and best, I have few tips and recommendations. Your movements could have been little more natural. I felt that you were forcing your movement. Like every single sentences you are making some transition. It was just slightly not natural. You were forcing, and that's what I felt. You could have made it better. And then you could have researched a little more. You included a personal story. It was very good, very effective. But then you could have researched and put on the stories of great people to make it more effective. And also, I felt regarding the voice modulation, you could have used a higher pitch wherever required. You could have improved on that. And humor, and little bit of humor if you are included in your speech, it would have been better. You did try, like no puttu to Maggie, but I didn't feel that was very effective because that didn't generate much laughter in the audience. So you could have a little more made it better. So sum it up, it was an excellent speech. If you try to follow the slight recommendations which I have given, you will become the best speaker. Already you are the best. Wish you all the best.
And yes, good morning. Toastmaster Mohammed Ansir brought an innovative, motivational and inspirational speech today, the early morning, Friday early morning. It was so inspirational for each and everyone sitting here. He understood the audience. He knew majority of the audience were Kerala people. They have a problem of language. He narrated a personal story of his reluctance to come forward to attend an interview. You start your speech with a great quote and you end your speech with a great quote from Mahatma Gandhi to substantiate, to validate your topic. Your key strengths are, one of the most important things I realize, a smiling face. A public speaker with a smiling face always will connect the audience. That is your key strength. Throughout your speech, you are smiling, you are confident. Second important thing I understand from your speech, you touch a problem of the common people, especially Toastmasters, those who want to come forward. because of their language skills. And you narrated the story of your transformation. Another thing you said, 3 kinds of people that they make it happen, someone watching. The last one is wonder what's happening. That was a humorous touch. I really like your speech. Areas of recommendations. I would like to recommend something for you. In the beginning, for a long time, you were standing here and speaking here. And your eye contact, especially I was sitting there, it was not reached there. And again, the transition from one to one, even though it was a story, it was not there. And there were some characters there you could have well demonstrated here, especially your interview, that you lost that opportunity. In summation, I would like to tell you that was a great inspirational, motivational speech for each and every Toastmaster present here this morning. You have a key strengths like smiling face, confidence, and everything. Believe me, one day you will become a great public speaker. Over to you.
When he said the situation he faced in Chennai, I also faced a similar situation when I went out of Kerala for the first time because of the language barrier. So I could easily connect with you. The way he started was also like with a question, and I could say everything was there except for a few things I would like to inform you to make this speech much better. I like the way you used the stage. The stage was properly used by the speaker. He have utilized all the areas. And there was a nice idiom saying that the situation like the fish was out of the water. You were confident in the speech, but in the beginning it was not there. I could not feel that you were much confident in the beginning, but towards the end you could establish the speech, and you took the control of the stage, and you were very confident towards the end. Some points I would like to tell you. I could see that you were using body language, you were having a lot of gestures and movements was there. But it has to be in rhythm with your movements. Don't do the movements or don't show the gestures just for the sake of doing it. So it has to be natural. You should not do like this just to show that you are using your gestures. Another thing which I have noticed is, as I told you in the beginning, the confidence level. I saw you were bracing yourself like this a couple of times. It shows that you feel not comfortable, because this is your stage. You are the owner of the stage, so you have to be very confident. So no need to brace yourself. Just stay quiet, be confident yourself. Apart from that, it was a very nice speech, and I like the way you stopped the speech. There was a message to take home, and you have portrayed the example. There were a lot of quotes in the speech. So if you concentrate on the few points which I have told you, you can be a good speaker. The choice is yours. Over to you.
Not like that. But here, I have to do my task. Respected judges, fellow Toastmasters, and my target speaker, Mr. Mohammed Asir. Let us give a thunder of applause to Mr. Mohammed Asir for the fantastic and fabulous speech he's delivered. I am very much impressed with the way that he presented the speech, which completes almost all the best features that is required for a natural speech. He was very good in presenting, and he was presented the speech with a proper preparation, except in some areas that I will hurt him in the last. His pace used the stage very well. He moved from backward when our transition time, and moved to front and to the left and right as it is required. And that always helped him to keep eye contact with all the audience from the beginning to the end. He had a convincing story from his own experience. That is, I think everybody of us has been experienced when we go for an interview or looking for a job or any other time. His body language was good, except sometimes I feel like he suddenly thought about expressing his body language. He just go and express that one. That is a positive thing, but you have to just make some improvement on that one. And he quoted Mahatma Gandhi saying the freedom does not work if it does not have a freedom to commit mistake. Of course, we all learn from our mistakes. And these mistakes make us perfect only if we learn from that. And from his experience, he has done it. That's an inspiring thing for us. And when he used some words, I see there's a negative words like frightened, fear, but I could not see that expression on his face. Maybe he's a positive person smiling always. So he's having problem in covering the frightened, these negative expressions when he speak. And some emotions and feeling can be a little bit improved. And this will make your speech very impressive and more inspiring. But they feel in their heart that you are experienced this very well. And at the end, he succeeded in throwing a question to the audience, like his speech topic is choice is yours, and he presented it. Definitely, all the audience would have got the feeling that the choice is yours and also mine choice. Over to you.
He opened the speech in a very natural way, quoting the famous quote of Robert Broad. How many of you often get bothered about the various circumstances around you? It took me quickly to his speech content. Then he explained quite natural way in his innocent face how his experience through his college life, his final year internship program, the last 4 months, how he felt himself as a fish out of water. Nice phrase. What a beautiful phrase it took us quickly through to your speech. And I was actually imagining myself those days which took me quickly to my college life. Connected very well, Toastmaster Muhammad Anshir. Let us give a big round of applause to him. You deserve it. I can see a champion speaker in you. Good body language. Very well use of the stage. Hands were proper. Eye contacts were very appropriate, reaching to each and every audience. Well audible. I really enjoyed it you said about Mahatma Gandhi. Freedom is not freedom if you don't have the freedom to fear. And you concluded your speech with a very good takeaway message. It's you, your choice. You decide what you want to take. Amazing. Kindly let me to suggest few recommendations which can be used as an improvement for your next speech project. You know what I felt? I totally understand. It's a Friday cool morning. I agree with that. We cannot bring out our energy level even though we like to do so. But as this was a great speech from your side, if you would have added few more energy level with a punchline, especially when you're quoting some quotes from the famous personalities like Mahatma Gandhi, Robert Broad, you could have added like, as Robert Broad said, as Mahatma Gandhi said, with a vocal variety, like adding vocal variety is really good. What I felt is most of the time, you're carrying us in a monotonous way, which was, I agree it's boring most of the time, but I totally understand it's a Friday morning and this is the time which you delivered the speech. Maybe you didn't do it well, and I'm pretty sure you will definitely improve that for your next project. That is what really impressive. And I can see your face value. Some of the time, if you could have added little expressions through your eyes, lips, and faces, it could have connected or took the audience more in a more enjoyable way. Add it. Try to add it. You can really get it. And I felt a little nervous. You can avoid it. Definitely avoid it with better preparation. Presenting it with a different audience, in front of a different audience. With all said, I really enjoyed it. A warm best of luck for all your future speeches. With all this conclusion, I believe that with my recommendation, you can be a champion speaker. Over to contestant.